morning, class. Everybody, please stand out for our opening prayer. Kindly lead Miss Amonsot. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, good morning, class. Okay, before you take your seats, kindly pick up the pieces of trashes under your chair and kindly arrange it properly. Okay, thank you. Before we start, let me check your attendance first. Say present if your name is called. Amonsot, Lamban, Molina, Bongalos, Rolirata, Paca. Alright, so those students who did not say present and those who are not inside the classroom is automatically marked absent. So before we proceed to our lesson for today, let me give you first a motivational activity that is entitled Choose Me, It's Me. So for the mechanics, I have 5 sticks here that contains 5 characteristics of a Filipino values. And then each of you will choose 1 stick from here or 1 characteristics that best describes you. Either you have an hospitality value, brave, helpful, honest, or polite. You can choose only 1 that best describes you. And after that, you will be here in front of the class to share why you choose that characteristic. Is that understood, class? Okay, so you have 2 minutes to do the activity. The 2 minutes starts now. Alright, I think everyone is done to the activity. Now I will call a student or a volunteer to first present or share his chosen characteristics. Alright, very good, class. I am very pleased you were able to participate in this activity. Okay, class, before we proceed to the formal discussion, who among you here who can share our insights about our last topic? Okay, Mr. Molina, go ahead. Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Molina. So, for our lesson for today, we have here a learning objectives, and please read the learning objectives first, next, and then. Alright, thank you. So to achieve that learning objective, I need your participation, cooperation, and most importantly is to listen attentively. Alright, thank you. So our topic for today is all about indigenizing the social sciences. So who among you here can share their prior knowledge or who have an idea about our topic? Okay, Ms. Lamban? Very good, thank you. So you listen down. So class, indigenization of social sciences focus on the study of ethnicity, society, culture, and its application to historical, anthropological, and psychological research and practice using indigenous knowledge. So now, as part of indigenizing the social sciences, we have here a social ideas of Filipino thinkers. So can you read the first bullet, Miss Paca? Alright, thank you, Miss Paca. So for the first idea, who do you think is the Filipino thinker? Okay, that's right. So this idea is by Jose P. Rizal. So since education is the foundation of society and a prerequisite for social progress, Rizal claimed that only through education could be saved from domination. So, di ba, as what Jose Rizal said, that ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. So, Jose P. Rizal is claimed that education is really important to the society and especially to the young people in our place, especially in our society. So next we have, can you read the second bullet, Miss Rolyorata? Alright, thank you. So this idea is based from the idea of Dr. Camilo Asillas. So he stressed that school has an important role in the development of dynamic nationalism and internationalism in relation to democracy and the education of the youth. So, as what Dr. Jose P. Rizal said, that education is important. It is the same with Dr. Camilo Asillas, because he also stressed that education is really important in our society. And for that, school also is also important because what is our foundation or place to educate young people without school? So Dr. Carmelo Asillas has an idea that school is an important role in the development of dynamic nationalism and internationalism in relation to democracy in the education of the youth. So next, we have Rafael Palma. So can you read the idea of Rafael Palma, Mr. Garcia? Alright, thank you. So Rafael Palma is educated the academic freedom. So what did Rafael Palma means in academic freedom? So academic freedom is what he means is that academic freedom, it has no right to impose on his students. So Rafael Palma's theories or personal belief is expected to stimulate free discussion. So therefore, Rafael Palma wants to stress for all the teachers that they should stimulate free discussion, leaving to his students the choice of the system of thought which best satisfies their reason. So, Rafael Palma's idea is different from Dr. Camilo and Jose P. Rizal because Rafael Palma is advocated the academic freedom for students, and his idea is for all the teachers, that all teachers should provide free discussion to all students. Alright, so the fourth Filipino thinker is Isabella de los Ruiz. Can you read his idea? Ms. Amonsot? Alright, thank you. So Isabella de los Ruiz helps students develop a sense of social responsibility. So that is one of the idea of Isabella de los Ruiz. He also said that individuals should be prepared to deal with life complexities. That children and adults should live a spiritual life with God above all the things. So, Isabella de los Ruiz also has an idea on the importance of a life of a student, and especially in their spiritual life. So the last one is Manuel L. Cusack. Can you read, Mr. Molina? Alright, thank you. So, respect the Constitution and the government which was established for your safety and welfare, and obey its laws. So that is one of the idea of Manuel L. Quezon. Because, as we know, Manuel L. one of the president here in our country, right? Yes. So of course, Manuel L. Quezon is concerned to our country or to our government, and she stressed that love, defend, and be ready to sacrifice yourself for your country. So all this presented is the idea of our Filipino thinkers on what are their ideas towards our society, most especially all about education for all the students and for all the teachers here in our society. So, do you agree with them, class? Alright, so thank you for listening. Next to be tackled is the role of So next to be tackled is the role of interpersonal relation to Philippine culture. So kindly read, Mr. Yuren. Alright, thank you. So interpersonal relationship, class, are formed in the context of social, cultural, and other influences. So what Mr. Luren said is the role of the interpersonal relation to Philippine culture. If you say interpersonal relation, it is like socializing to other people. And in creating interpersonal relationship to other people, it's just not all about the interference of love, right? Because as part of our Filipino culture, it is not just about the interference of love, but also in creating a social commitment. So example of social commitment and creating an interpersonal relationship is the neighborhoods. So we can create interpersonal relationship to one another by neighborhoods, by our colleagues in works, also in solidarity. We also have business interactions, most especially in business interactions, we can create interpersonal relationship, right? Okay, very good. So, now, what is the importance of interpersonal relationship? So, the importance of interpersonal relationship is human beings are innately social and are shaped by their experiences with others. So there are multiple perspectives to understand this inherent motivation to interact with others. So first, we have here the need to belong. Can you read the first bullet? Who wants to read? Okay, go ahead. Alright, so this first multi-perspective and interpersonal relationship is, according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, human needs to feel love and acceptance from social groups. So now class, what are those social groups? Give me an example of social groups where we can get what Maslow's hierarchy of needs mentioned, that we as a human, we need to feel love and acceptance by the social groups. So, what is an example of social group? Please raise your hand if you want to answer. Okay, please, Kebansag. Okay, thank you. So that's right. So families and peer groups are examples of social groups that we need to belong. In fact, the need to belong is so inherently ingrained that it may be strong enough to overcome psychological and safety needs. So next, we have social exchange. Can you read the second bullet? Mr. Baluyot? Okay, thank you for that. So in other words, one's emotions and behaviors are shaped by prior relationship. Thus, relational theory posits that prior and existing relationship influences one's emotion and behavior. So for social exchange, so another way to appreciate the importance of relationship is in terms of reward framework. So if we say social exchange, we need an exchange, or in this perspective, it is in forms or in terms of a reward framework. So this perspective suggests that individuals engage in relations that are rewarding in both tangible and intangible ways. So the third one, is the relational self. Kindly read. Who wants to read? Please raise your right hand. Okay, go ahead. Thank you. So relationships are also important for their ability to help individuals develop a sense of self, right? So the relational self is a part of an individual's self-concept that consists of the feelings and beliefs that one has regarding oneself that develops based on interactions with others. So these three are the multiple perspective to understand this inherent motivation to interact with others or in creating interpersonal relationship. So did you get it, class? Alright, that's good. Now, let's move on to another lesson as part of indigenizing the social sciences. So this is the Filipino values. Okay, so as a Filipino citizen and also as a Filipino student, we have encountered different characteristics, right? Especially in socializing other people and also in interacting other people. We can discover or we can encounter different characteristics into different people that we interacted with or we like ma-meet na to, right? So, for a Filipino values or a Filipino value system refers to the set of values or the value system that a majority of the Filipino has historically held important in their lives. So this Philippine value system includes their own unique assemblage of consistent ideologies, moral codes, ethical practices, ethic, and cultural and personal values that are promoted by their society. So first, Filipino values or a Filipino characteristic is the, everyone please read. Alright, that's right, hospitality. So from the word hospitable, what comes from your mind, right? So hospitality is one of the most popular traits of Filipinos. If we say hospitality, it is a friendly person, a friendly Filipino. So, di ba, if someone or natin mga turista from other country, we are very friendly to them and kita makik-abi-abitan nila so that mo na makaingon sila that Filipino people are very hospitable because we found out, we let them feel that they are welcome to our country. So, next, Filipino values, we have, everyone please read. Alright, adaptability. So, adaptability is something that, for example, is despite of all the calamities that struck into our country, like the Typhoon Odette, right? So, for example, we are devastated, or the central part of Visayas is devastated by the Typhoon Odette. And then, Filipinos are presented enough to get back on their feet even without the solid help from the government. So we, as a Filipino citizen, we adopt in our environment, like if gikan ta typhoon is walang-wala ta, and samutan pa if wala ta tabangi sa government. Therefore, kanang mo mangita ka way para mabuhi ta, para makakaon ta, depende sa kung unsa ang naa sa ato ang environment. That is an example of adaptability. We adapt to any type of environment and mingle with any kind of people all over the world. So, makik-adapt ta or makisabay ta sa kung unsa ang naa sa ato ang society, and kung unsa or kung kinsa ang ato ang tao nga na meet or naka-abi-abi in that type of calamity. So next, we have, can you read, everyone? Alright, creativity. We all know that Filipinos are known for ingenuity. If you say ingenuity, many Filipino people are artists na karon, di ba? So, we are creative in many ways, whether it's in art. We are very creative in art, music, science, technology, and business. And some of our smartest countrymen come up with a brilliant idea despite of poverty or lack of financial resources. So we are also good at recycling trash and turning them into indigenous brother. As you can see, many Filipino people is naan sa different countries, so they are known as great artists. So we as a Filipino, we are very proud na ang Filipino people or Filipinos are very creative. So next, Filipino values is, alright, the faithfulness. If we say faithfulness, we have the great spiritual life, diba? Or the sense of spirits. So maampuon tang mga Filipino citizen or maampuon tang mga Filipinos. So Filipinos are one of the most faithful and people in the world. So whatever our religion is, we remain faithful and we don't lose hope for a better tomorrow. So if we can say, what we say is, Philippines has nakasud na sa tuwang country in different religions, diba? Bisan ako, I am a Roman Catholic, but still, whatever our religions is, our faith is still remain. So next, Filipino values is the unity, right? So unity in bayanihan spirit. So if we say unity, it is a panaghiusa sa tanan. So we are in a close relationship with our neighbors. So diba, close ta sa atong mga silingan, and whatever kanang problema sa atong lugar is, we create unity, or we are being united to overcome whatever the problem is. So unity in barangay, in most subdivisions, the people in the neighborhood know each other talk each other, help each other, and also they protect each other. Alright, so the sixth of Filipino values, we already have six, the thriftiness. So, there may be Filipinos who are living beyond their means. But on the other brighter side, there are also many Filipinos who are frugal. If we say thriftiness, kanang bitang thriftiness, dili na siya term na tipid, but naasa to ang one of our characteristic is, for example, di ba, mamalita, mutanaw ta daan sa price, and then mutanaw ta if kana siya ba is appropriate or fits sa to ang budget, di ba? So, except sa mga dato katatakaran sila kuha. So, kita, most Filipino people is magtanaw jud sa price in kanabitang mangumprata sa mall. Okay, so another one is politeness. So Filipinos are a very courteous people. If I say politeness, in Bisaya it is matinahurot. So we are very courteous to other people. So next is family-oriented. So family-oriented, Filipinos are willing to make big sacrifices just to make sure that their loved ones will have a good life. So, family-oriented ang mga Filipinos represent. So next, we have, can you read everyone? Okay, thank you. So, the bravery. So there are heroes, blood running in our veins. We have the most fearless heroes who only think of defending our homeland. So, Filipino people are considered as a brave people, di ba? Because way back, we have many Filipino heroes, di ba? So, remember Lapu-Lapu, Andres Bonifacio, Jose Rizal. So, they are a Filipino people or a brave Filipino that became a hero in our country. So, next we have, okay, so jolliness. So the Philippines is a country of smile. So it is one of our habit to smile towards people, especially to our tourists, to our visitors. Despite of different problems, calamities, we still wear our golden smile. Okay, so that is a jolliness. Next, we have the dignity. If you say dignity, it is a dignity. It means dignidad. So perhaps many of our politicians did have a delicadeza, but our people, especially the Filipinos, still observe delicadeza. So despite there are many governments na wala nila they don't have a dignity on their jobs or in their works, still kitang mga Filipino people or kitang mga Filipinos have the dignity, diba? So, the 12th one is the gratefulness. So, aside from being hospitable, Filipinos are also thankful. We don't forget anyone who helped us, whether he or she is a Filipino or not. So, it is one of our characteristics to be grateful and always thankful whatever we receive or whatever we have in our life. Okay, so the 13th one is, can you read everyone? Okay, so the honesty. So perhaps palabra de honor is not evident among our politicians, but it's still evident among the common Filipinos. So when we make a promise, we try our best to fulfill that promise, even if it will undermine ourselves. For us to fulfill a promise to others is a great self-fulfillment. So kitang mga Filipino people daw are honest, although there are some is dishonest, but kumbaga nagpulong gihapon ang ato ang pagka-honest people, honest Filipino citizen. Okay, so the last one is the helpfulness. Okay, so finally, even if the Philippines is not a big and a rich country, since Philippines is part of a less developed country, we still grant aids to other countries in need. We also send our brave soldiers to protect our other nations from threats and to preserve world peace. So, originally, we are rich in good values, moral attitudes, and habits. Okay, so class, those are the 14 Filipino values that would help to make our country a better country or a great country. So now class, as a student and a Filipino citizen, do you have those habits that you applied in your life? Okay, so as a student, do you have this 14 Filipino values? Yes, Miss Paka? Alright, thank you for that response. So let's start to preserve these Filipino values within ourselves. Then let's serve as a model of these good habits to inspire our countrymen and to do the same. So class, do you agree or disagree? Alright, so if there are good Filipino habits, there are also bad habits that Filipino has. So these are the Filipino habits that are most practiced by a Filipino people. So first, we have Filipino time. We all know what is Filipino time, right? I think it is very understandable, right? So next, we have Ningas Pugon, colonial mentality, mañana habit, palabra de honor, crab mentality. So these are just a few of our Filipino bad habits that was practiced by Filipino people. But it's maybe good or bad or not a good value. It is still depending on a certain situation is. Did you get it, class? Okay, very good. So now, let's move on to Psikolohiyang Pilipino. So, in Psikolohiyang Pilipino, Psikolohiyang Pilipino, or it is called Indigenous Filipino Psychology, is draws from folk practices as much as from modern theory. So, first we have, can you read the first bullet? Who wants to read? Can you raise your right hand? Okay, go ahead. Okay, thank you. So first we have pakikipagkapwa. So kapwa is the unity of the one of us and the other. So according to the late Virgilio Enriquez, who declared the concept as a Filipino core value, he upheld that kapwa implied moral and normative aspects that oblige a person to treat one another as fellow human being and therefore as equal, a position definitely inconsistent with exploitative human interactions, diba? So if we say pakikipagpapa is like socializing other people, is a shared identity. Okay, so next, the second one, can you read? Who wants to read? Okay, go ahead. Thank you. So the second one is the pakikiramdam. So pakikiramdam, or it is a sensitivity or shared inner perception. So pakiramdam is described as an all-important, right? Because it is a shared inner perception that complements the shared identity of kapwa. So last of Filipino psychology is we have the third one. Who wants to read? Okay, go ahead. Thank you. So the third one is the bahala na, or accepted by foreigners as demonstrating the fatalism of a happy-go-lucky people. So, bahala na then is a word that pre-Christian Filipinos use for dating. So, psikolohiyang Filipino, salvage bahala na from these fatalistic reputations into a value. So, devil may care. So, other people considered word bahala na just like a devil may care. So, it was transformed into determination in the face of uncertainty. So, I think we are done with our topic for today about indigenizing the social sciences. Did you understand our lesson for today, class? Alright, so now, if you understand our lesson for today, do you have any questions or clarifications from the discussion? Okay, none so far, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So, and if that's so, we will be having a short activity. Okay, so kindly find your partner and create a very short scenario showing the good and bad habits of a Filipino. So, you only have given 5 minutes to do the activity. And after that, you will present here in front of the class. Okay, just a short scenario. For example, is that like the mañana habit. So you will act that a short scenario showing that bad habits, and also show one scenario that shows one of a good Filipino values. Okay, did you get it, class? Okay, your 5 minutes starts now. Are you done, class? Okay, let's start your presentation. Very good presentation, class. Let us give everyone a round of applause, please. So now I think since you already understood what is all our topic all about, and since you already understood what is the topic contains about indigenizing the social sciences, now I have an evaluation for you. Okay, so for the evaluation, for the direction, in one whole sheet of paper, differentiate the following concept the way you understand them. So the first concept, we have colonial mentality and crab mentality. The next one is we have the mañana habit and nengas koban. Okay, so you have given 10 minutes to do the evaluation, and after that, after the 5 minutes, you will pass your paper if I will say that you should pass it. Okay? Is the instruction clear and understood, class?